Hi everyone, this is a quick screen grab video to show how to get logged in for the first time on our new scheduling and calendar system called CloudbaseGA, which is replacing the slot system. And first time you'll need to get logged on, set up a password and put your details in. Then there'll be a separate video which I'll link to, which will show you how to actually go about making a booking. So the website you go to is www.cloudbasega.com or www.cloudbasega.aero. Both come to this landing page. Click on the top right to log in. And first time you log in, you're not going to see anything pre-populated there because you've not logged in before. So click down here on forgot your password, enter your email address. It will then send you a link which allows you to then choose the password that you want to use. So once you've done that, come back here again and log in using that email and that password. And I've set up here a dummy member, a student actually, who we've called Jerry Student. And this is how you end up landing, as it were, on what they call a dashboard. And you'll see on the left-hand side that they've got some basic details in there. When your membership expires, there will be other details to be added in there, which we'll look at. And it also tells you when your next booking is and when your last flight was. On the right hand side you've got a notice board with general notices that will come up from time to time, and later on you'll see when we look at the next video with the calendar, there will also be specific notices that work on a day-by-day basis. So up here you've got the main menu. The dashboard is this page, and then we'll look at these other ones in a minute, but the calendar page is where we would go to make bookings. As I said, that will be looked at in a separate video. For now, first time we log on, what we want you to do is click please on user settings. Now here, if you want to, you can get all excited and put your picture in there if you want, and you can change your password if you want there. Other than that, it's a question of just working through these details here and filling in as much as you can, please. Not going to get too fussed about whether it's got your address, but we do really need a telephone contact number. If you want the office to be able to contact you easily when there's a change to your booking or a cancellation or something like that, then we're going to need a telephone number in that field up there. As we get down here to all these little calendar bits, we can put in, or you can put in, whatever details are appropriate. So if you've got a medical that, let's for the sake of argument, expires in August next year, end of August next year, we can put those dates in. You can say what type of medical you've got, whether it's a PMD or a class 1 or a class 2, all that sort of stuff. And in here, all your expiry dates for SCP, MEP if you have it, instrument rating, restricted instrument rating, which should now of course be called IMC rating. And for our instructors, the flight instructor expiry date, that type of thing. Anything else you've got there, like night rating, aerobatics rating. And if you've already got a license, then put in the details that you've got. In this case, it's a student. Now this bit's important, booking notifications. If that's not already saying that it's my bookings only, please set that to my bookings only. Once again, this is pretty important. I know we all hate spam email, but the good thing about this new system, or one of the good things, is it will email you with a reminder a couple of days before, so we get less people forgetting to turn up for their lessons or their bookings, and also it will confirm bookings and give you any details of any changes by email. So if you don't have that set to my bookings only, you're not going to get those. It might be in a few months' time when you're more comfortable with the system, you might decide you don't want that. But at the moment, with a new system, with the potential for errors and changes, it's pretty important you get that. Similarly, receive group messages. So this isn't a load of spam you get from other people. It would be something like, for example, it might be our Christmas opening hours or some change like that, which is important to send out. So please tick that one as well. Generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend display email to other members. I wouldn't recommend display telephone number to other members. You can choose if you want a default aircraft, if you've got a favourite aeroplane. Basically, later on when you make a booking, it will always try and come up with that one first. But to be honest, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. And if you want to get really exciting, you can tell us all about yourself in that little box at the bottom. So when you've added in those various little bits, I'm going to put in another thing here. Deliberately, I'm going to make this a little bit in the past. So let's just say that our SCP expiry date expired at the end of October. So we'll put that in there for the moment and we can see what happens later on. So save the settings. It says user settings saved successfully. Now if we go back to the dashboard, right, now we can see down here, these elements are in red because they've expired. So they're going to warn you and they're going to warn us that your membership in this case has run out and your SCP rating has run out. You will also find later on, when we come onto the calendar side of things, when you make a booking, it gives you information about recency, how many days since you last flew. So you can check that as well at the same time when you make a booking. So there we go. That's the initial stage. That's how you register for the system. That is how you put your user settings. And once you've done that, we can move on to the next video about how you make a booking.